What's up everybody, it's Sean here, and I'm here today to give you guys a review of the women's Air Jordan 3 Retro in this Lucky Green colorway. So Lucky Green is a color that Jordan Brand has really been pushing. We've already seen a Lucky Green Air Jordan 1 and an Air Jordan 2, so now it's time for the Air Jordan 3 to get its shine. So this is a women's release, and I believe they already dropped earlier in Europe, but there's going to be a wider worldwide release on May 18th. So for those that struck out, you're going to have a second opportunity to grab these. So these retail for a price of $200 or $260 here in Canada, and the official colorway for this shoe is white, lucky green, varsity red, anthracite, cement gray, and sail. So when the initial product images of this shoe leaked, the thing I thought of first was that this is an Air Jordan 3 equivalent of the Jordan 4 SB. And being that I'm a bigger fan of the Jordan 3 over the Jordan 4, I was very interested to pick these up and see how these were in real life. First things first though, here's a quick look at the box. So just like many Air Jordan 3 women's releases, this comes in a white colored cardboard box, and we have this gold Jumpman in the center on the top. And as far as the shoe goes, so this is your classic Jordan 3 silhouette, and the upper of the sneaker for the most part is constructed out of a tumbled white colored leather. So you can see this leather on the toe box has this nice subtle tumble to it, not overly tumbled. And then on top of this overlaid on the front half of the shoe, we have another overlay of white leather, which feels a little bit more synthetic and has a bit more of a smoother feel and look to it. And as always, overlaid on top of the front toe cap, we have the signature elephant print, and it's not overly thick and boxy like Jordan 3s used to look like maybe 5-10 years ago. Moving downwards, you can see covering the bottom two eyelets, we have these green colored TPU circles, and then the middle three eyelets are constructed out of a matte white colored TPU, and then the leather surrounding this is perforated. And then the very top two eyelets, this is again constructed out of a green colored TPU. Underneath this, we have more of that tumbled white colored leather, and this wraps around the majority of the back of the shoe as well. And the very top of the ankle collar area, we have more of that perforated white leather, and then surrounding the bottom of the heel, we have more of that elephant print once again. Stitched on top of the center of the heel, we have that signature heel tab. This is done in white, and the Jumpman Air branding here is done in gray instead of green or red, which I kind of expected it would be. As far as the laces go, so these only come with one lace option, and they're just your normal flat style soft lace in white. Underneath this, we have this perforated leather on the tongue, and the very top of the tongue is covered in that smooth white leather, and we have a red colored Jumpman embroidered in the center. So the back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is lined in this fuzzy white colored textile, and then for the insoles, these unfortunately don't come with a polyurethane insole, it's just your standard foam line insole, and it's covered in a white colored textile on top, and we have a red colored Jumpman stamped on the heel. The upper of the Air Jordan 3 sits atop this full-length polyurethane foam midsole, and this is painted primarily in this off-white or sail color, but we have this hit of shiny green on the top portion of the heel. This being an Air Jordan 3, of course, we have this cutaway on the midsole, revealing the air bubble that's found within the midsole for cushioning. And then finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this outsole is crafted out of a combination of gray, green, and sail colored rubber. We have this Jordan branding running down the heel in red, and we still have that circular pivot point on the forefoot, which is done in this green colored finish. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Jordan 3s, and for those wondering about sizing, so because this is a women's release, to get your women's equivalent, you go up 1.5 sizes. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in the equivalent of a men's size 10, which is a women's 11.5. So I feel like they definitely run more snug than the reimagined Air Jordan 3s. So true to size for me was absolutely perfect. It gave me a nice snug 1-to-1 fit. If you have a really wide foot, you might want to consider going up a half size just because of the width of this shoe, but I feel like for the majority of people out there, sticking true to size should be perfectly fine. So again, if you're a size 8 men's, you would get a women's 9.5. If you're a men's 9.5, you get a women's 11. Moving on to the comfort of the shoe, so these feel pretty much like any other Air Jordan 3. In my humble opinion, the Jordan 3 is very comfortable for my feet. It gives me a good amount of support, and there's some cushioning underfoot without being overly soft and mushy. But keep in mind, this is a retro shoe from the 80s, so it doesn't have modern technology like React or Cushlon or Adidas Boost. So again, for an 80s era shoe, for a casual use sneaker, these are going to be perfectly fine, and to me at least, I found them to be comfortable for just walking around in. But if you're someone who historically does not like Jordan 3s, then you probably won't like these either. It just comes down to personal preference and taste. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first off, material quality, I thought it was solid. It wasn't as good as, for example, the Wizards Air Jordan 3 or the Reimagined 3. I thought overall the leather had a bit more of a stiff feel to it, and the leather wrapping around the front half of the shoe right beneath the elephant print, and of course the tongue as well, this felt a little bit more synthetic than I would have liked. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, I thought it was okay. The one issue I had was the elephant print size on both the left foot and the right foot were a bit inconsistent. But aside from that, I thought the panels were cut and stitched on consistently. The stitch job was pretty good, the paint job was pretty good as well. So there were minor issues, but it wasn't a deal breaker. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, for a general release Air Jordan 3, I was pretty happy with how these turned out. I think I mentioned this in other reviews, but I think green is a really hot colorway right now, and I really like how it was executed on this Jordan 3 silhouette. You can't really go wrong with this color blocking style, and the way they incorporated the green, it was subtle enough and not too in your face, especially for someone like me who doesn't often wear green too much on their feet. And like I also said, this is kind of a good alternative to the Jordan 4 SB. If you struck out on those and don't want to pay the super high resale prices, I think this is a very solid alternative for a shoe that looks kind of similar in many respects. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Air Jordan 3 in this lucky green colorway. What are your overall thoughts on this pair? And have you guys picked these up, or are you planning on picking these up? Did you take an L and are you paying resale for them? Let me know your general thoughts down below and let's talk about this pair. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.